Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Only 16 minutes. Only
16 minutes.
This is the free show. We don't have to be professional on the free,
right?
All right. We are live all the places now. Hello, world.
Hi, everybody.
Howdy, everybody. Great to be with you on Instagram, Greg's Instagram, and on my YouTube, Facebook, other Facebook, and Twitter.
Can you hear me, Instagram people?
And can you hear me on all the other platforms? Let me see the comments. Let us know.
Hi.
If you can. I believe we are being heard.
Okay.
Janie and Randy Longmire are saying hello.
How's Randy?
Excellent.
Kayla, Kayak, Gemma, how are you?
So many streams, says Randy Longmire. He's not wrong.
Hey, buddy. Wow, that's great.
Well, how's this fine day treating you, Gregory?
I can't complain. Jennifer made a roast duck yesterday with duck fat potatoes and yams and Brussels sprouts. And it was off the chain, I have to say. Then we watched Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, which is a very unlikely
movie to watch after you eat the birds?
No, I think Hitchcock's perfect for Thanksgiving. It was just, I would have preferred like Lady Vanishes or North by Northwest, but The Birds is hilarious because Tippi Hedren's acting in it is, Hitchcock discovered her on an ad for a diet soda on television in the 60s. And that's the level of acting she's at. The whole movie, you're like, why do I want a diet soda? You know, why am I not more afraid?
When you say that Jennifer made all that food and then you watch this movie together, do you mean your wife Jennifer or a random Jennifer you encountered on the street?
No, just this woman named Jennifer that comes by. I don't actually know her last name.
That's weird, kind of.
I let her use the kitchen for a while. I went outside, and when I came back, all this was done. Yeah, Jennifer's a smashing cook, and she the other night made she took filet of sole and she cut it up and then breaded it and then deep fried it and served it with a salad and tartar sauce. So they call it in France goujon, like a little high class fish stick. But she did it herself, and it was just beautiful, you know, soft and fluffy. And I know people are vegetarians out there. I don't want to trigger you, but fish around the old Proops dog ranch.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but are not 50% of French words gouchon?
Yes, almost every. It's true, Ben. Almost every other word in French is goujon. And it's all purpose. It means today. It means tomorrow. It means fish stick. I'm a goujon sometimes for your love.
I believe that about you. And it also makes it very easy to order fish sticks both today and tomorrow.
Right. So you could say goujon, s'il vous plaît. Je voudrais un goujon de poisson du sol. Or I think my French is primitive. We went to Morocco once years ago, and I really enjoyed it because Moroccans speak French, especially up north, but their French isn't like, you know, pluperfect, you know, particulate in the conditional. They speak it kind of the way I do, which is like, hey, s'il vous plaît, you know, like, so when you meet someone there, you don't go, you know, comment allez-vous? None of that. It's ça va, and then the other person goes ça va, and then you like point and sing, because that's how you speak in French. You go, like that. I find that works a lot better with people who don't understand me. Just point and go, oh, 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 oh. And then how much do you want? People think France is hard to navigate, but it isn't. A lot of pointing and a lot of singing.
If you point, it makes it a lot easier in like half the countries.
Right? You just be friendly and go, you know. And then when they say something to you, go, you know, just jolly it up as well. That's how I get along in foreign countries. My German is terrible. And we went to Germany several times, but I look so German then, sadly. I believe my father's side of the family. And we look German. What can I tell you? People were speaking to me in German and then getting mad when I wouldn't speak it back to them.
They get mad quick. They have a very hairpin trigger on getting mad over there.
Yeah, they look what happened in Poland twice in 1 century. I mean, there's boom. They looked at them the wrong way and they went off.
Yeah, that's right. They really it's almost as though they've never heard of conflict mediation, you know.
and look at them now, the leading democracy in the world. We're begging to join them again. And their president's a scientist, an actual scientist.
That's right. And the most popular disinformation show over there in Germany is the Ingram Angela. I really like to mix it up over there.
The best part of going to Germany is an entrance is an Eingang and an exit is an Ausfahrt. So everywhere you go on the freeway, the Autobahn, it says Ausfahrt. And you're like, I can't. I just can't every time. And of course, juvenile sense of humor. We drove around on the Autobahn. Yeah. We actually had fun on the Autobahn.
How fast did you go?
Drew Carey. Huh?
How fast did you go?
Well, I'm not a speed demon, but
on the Autobahn though,
right? I was over there with Drew. It was during the World Cup in 2006, one particular trip, and me and Drew, his girlfriend at the time, and Jennifer, the random Jennifer who bakes ducks.
Yes, of course.
We all were over there, and we all went to matches. It was great. The World Cup's amazing, and that was the year that France lost to Italy when Materazzi. When Zizou headbutted Materazzi in the chest, if you remember that. And anyway,
I do not, by the way.
It was for your football fans. Sure. What was the point of your story? Because I was with Drew and it was a fancy thing and we were shooting a show for Travel Channel, the local Porsche dealership gave us a Porsche to drive around in. Ooh. And so Drew drove on the Autobahn with me on the passenger seat and the cameraman like this in the back, because this back seat of a Porsche is like a size of a shrew's womb.
Yeah.
And
yeah, like a womb that is you never anticipated it would have anything in it.
Right. And I'm sorry I did that on camera. That's a terrible thing to throw right now. And,
we want anybody to come to our show, Greg.
Right. And we, just the special people. And Drew lit it up and we drove, close to 200, I think, for a while, because the inside lane is whatever you want. The outside lane is sky's the limit. People are careful and, decent drivers as far as I found. When Germans get crazy is when they go to Italy and France and go to the wine areas. Then they're coming around the hill 1,000 miles an hour and you have to watch out because you're going to get killed by a BMW.
He went almost 200 though.
Yeah, he lit it up. I remember getting pretty fast. And I said to him, we were in northern Germany. We were in Mainz, and which is just where the Rhine is, the height of the Roman Empire, right? You can be in Holland in 40 minutes, And I said,
10 if you're on shrooms.
Right? I said, let me go back to the hotel and get my passport and my weed and let's fucking go to Holland. Mm-hmm. We didn't do it. But his girlfriend went to Holland and came back. So that's the groovy thing about Europe is it's conveniently located. Once you're there, you could go, the countries it's like being in the back east.
It's conveniently located to the rest of Europe.
Right. If you're in Connecticut and you go, man, I'd really like to go to Maryland, you kind of can be there in an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
Although no one ever says that. I've never heard anyone say, I really want to go to Connecticut.
Well, it's less sexy to say so. I mean, their state abbreviation is CT, which is like 2/3 of some really fucked up brain damage.
Right? So
that's
harsh.
It is indeed. Jessica, before we get to giving out some free tickets to our show, which is tomorrow night at Nowhere Comedy on Zoom, you can, of course, get tickets at Nowhere Comedy Club.actually at nowheretime.com, our new URL at nowheretime.com.
Really? Nowhere Time? I love it.
Nowheretime.com. But we'll be giving away a couple free tickets in a moment here. And then if that does or doesn't happen for you personally, we will be giving you an opportunity to get your friends in free and to get a discount. So don't worry. But Jessica Keibel first asks, where do you get your fabulous jackets, Greg?
Thank you for asking. We played Memphis last year with my Who's Live group with Ryan. I don't know if Ryan went on that gig. I think it was Davey. Anyway, me, Jeff Davis, Joel Murray, Bob Durkach. And we were staying at this fancy hotel in Memphis that's famous. They have ducks that live in the lobby. I'm not kidding. There's a pond, a middle, made up pond, and the ducks live in it. And then every day they march them into the elevator and they go to live on the roof at night. And then they come down the next morning. And when they do it, a guy comes out in a full outfit and they play music like a ringmaster and goes, and now, ladies and gentlemen, the world famous ducks. And the ducks, they start to play this classical music, and the ducks get out of the pond and follow each other into the elevator. And a guy in a uniform pushes the button and the ducks close and the ducks blow up. And it's just great. And
trained ducks are hard to come by.
Right? And I can't remember the name of the bloody hotel. I bought Jennifer a sweatshirt there and all kinds of gifts because everything's got a duck on it, right? Oh, I have a rubber duck from there. And in the Peabody, thank you, Jessica. Inside the lobby of the Peabody is a branch of Lansky's, and Elvis Presley's tailor was Lansky. So this is an Elvis jacket, right? It turns from tiger to cheetah, as you can see the pattern.
Oh yeah,
and there's the
Talia.
So all his costumes are there. The gold lame one, you know, from A Million Elvis Fans Can't Be Wrong, that one. Gold lame. The whole suit. And then all of the Spin Out, Speedway, all the road racing movies, those little 60s jackets, you know, with no epaulets that are waist high. All those, you can buy all those. Johnny Cash shirts from the 50s and 60s, a load of country stars, right? So that all those embroidered shirts. Taste isn't a barrier at Lansky's, let me put it that way.
Yeah, nor should it be, really. That's the Lansky way.
The shoe collection there is like unbelievable. So I bought this. It cost $400, and I called Jennifer, and I'm like, I'm about to spend $400. And she's like, go ahead. I sent her a picture of me in it, right? You know, going like that. And then I bought a pair of fancy underwear. And Bob Durkach bought a Johnny Cash shirt that there was a photo of Johnny wearing it in the early 60s, just black with this white trim on it. And Bob, our keyboard player, our musical director, is from Edmonton, Alberta. So he's, you know, Western wear looks good on him, right? He's really thin. And
he wears it out in the oil field.
Yeah. And we did a show that night in Memphis, and we improvised rockabilly, blues, and funk for our musical styles, because Memphis is the place, right? Like everything comes from Memphis. Stax, Isaac Hayes, Carla Thomas, Booker T and the MGs, you know, Elvis. Like it's, so we went to Stax Records in the morning, then we went to Sun Records right after that. And the breadth and scope of the music, you know, because Sun Records started as a blues label, and it had Howling Wolf and everybody. And this fantastic group that they signed that were prisoners. They were black men serving time in federal penitentiary, and they were allowed to come out and sing. And there was a liberal governor, if you can believe this, in Tennessee in the late 50s who had them sing at his events. And their picture was there, their records and stuff. Just fantastic. So
wow.
We really had a great time in Memphis. And I don't know if you like Southern cooking, but like,
oh, I love it. I had some for lunch.
Grits and eggs and whatnot. And you know, I had barbecue, you know, I did everything cornball you could do in Memphis because you're there. We went and saw the hotel where Dr. King stayed on the last day. That's a museum too. And what's shocking about that part is the cars are still parked there. So the shot you always see of MLK's, the scene is exactly the same. The two cars are parked there are still there. And that's all blocked off, and the hotel's exactly looks the same as it did in 1960.
Yikes! That's a nice hotel.
Not the happiest place.
It's a nice hotel, but very hard to relax on the balcony.
Not anymore. And but it's fantastic because it's a museum of him, and so I just really enjoyed the devil out of Memphis because the history there. It's everything I like, and nothing I don't like.
I love that. I love that. I love that.
We had a heck of a time there, and no one wanted to leave. And my room at the Peabody looked down into the ballpark. Literally down into the ballpark, which was exciting. I'm a big baseball fan. Memphis had a famous Negro League team called the Red Caps. And this is what makes Memphis Negro League team so awesome. Charlie Pride's brother was a ball player and was an ace pitcher for that team. Charlie Pride, the country star, played for them too. Charlie Pride tried to be a baseball player up until the early 60s. And he was redshirted at the Mets camp in 62, like the worst team of all time, the 62 Mets. And Casey Stengel threw him off the bus in Florida. Like, when I'm tired of this guy hanging around, he's not any good. Chucked Charlie Pride off the bus. Charlie Pride split and was doing little gigs. He started in the Air Force. And then he was doing a gig in Bozeman, Montana, and a guy from the record company saw him and signed him, and he's had a 1,000-year career. So in the Negro League Museum, my favorite souvenir ball, Geddy Lee, you're not going to believe this, Geddy Lee from Rush is a huge Negro League baseball fan. And made
I believe that. Why wouldn't I believe that? I believe that.
It's just hilarious. You realize his name's Gary, and they called him Geddy because his Jewish grandmother called him Geddy, right? Geddy. So, because they're juice from Canada.
Get the soup from the kitchen. I'm cold in here.
Right? So all the autograph balls are there. Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson, da-da-da. And in the middle of it, Charlie Pride, the country star, autograph baseball. It's my favorite thing. One of my favorite things in the museum because it's so.
That's cool.
Kiss an angel good morning and love her like the devil when you get back home.
We all know when Greg sings, it's time to give away free tickets.
Please don't change the channel.
You only have 75,000 options currently. So thank you for being here with us. We are here to tell you regale you with some stories from the past, from Comedy Yore, and also to tell you about our show tomorrow night from Comedy Future happening at Nowhere Comedy. It's a G thing with Greg and Gleib. And we do improv games, Whose Line style. We have a real fun time. And we're going to give a free ticket to the most random comment in the comments in the next 1 minute. The most random comment. Greg and I will decide together, or if we disagree, we'll give away two.
I'm looking at the ones on Instagram.
Either. We're going to choose from the best. You can tell us the Instagram contenders, and I'll put up on screen the contenders from the other streams, and we will give one, or if you and I disagree, Greg, we'll give away two. It depends.
I love it.
Free tickets. Let's see here. I've got Randy Longmire's entry of I have Red Dwarf reruns on pause for this. That's kind of a weird comment.
Nice.
But I don't know if it's a winner just yet.
I worked with
Red Dwarfs.
I did a game show in Scotland with Craig Charles, who was the lead of Red Dwarf, and I got to meet a bunch of the people on the show. Also, Hattie Hayridge, who was the first holograph on the show. She was a comedian friend of mine from London.
I thought Tupac was the holograph.
A really good singer. Yeah, there was two. There was a guy, Norman, another comedian played the holograph as well. But Craig was a really nice guy, and we had a whale of a time together. That's for our English chums or the Red Dwarf fans. Red Dwarf ran for 100 years in England. And I think there was a movie too, even. I don't know if you ever watched it, but one of the characters was a man who had been a cat and had mutated into a human being. So it was hilarious.
We could do worse. We could do worse.
It was funny. Sci-fi and comedy are hard to put together. It doesn't work that much for me. And that show was funny. But Craig's a nice cat.
Zagnuts is a possible entry here for a weird comment to win the free ticket. I also got Rachel Loves Paul on your Instagram says pork loin is also super cheap. That's pretty random.
I've got brown sugar and something. What was that one? Norway is where I wish to display my love of the sun gods. I'm picking that one.
Okay.
That's Michael Music. Michael Music. How do we get in touch with that one, Ben?
On yours, what is it? Is it somebody?
Michael M Music is the name of the person.
Oh, I see there. So just tell him to DM me on Instagram. DM Ben Gleib on Instagram, and he probably hears me saying that. You can DM me.
He does.
And then with your name, full name, and email address, and we will send you a free ticket situation.
Michael M Music, will you respond to that so that we know that you what?
And then I'm still looking for a random comment. This is pretty funny. Dane Slayton says, "Not my bones. They are all in a museum."
I kind of like the pork loin one, but you should pick this one.
Well, no, but we already. Oh, the pork loin one. Oh, I see the pork loin. But I'd love to give them from another platform. But we'll grant you. Right now, we're not getting
StreamYard.
Yeah, we're not getting currently that random of. Oh, this is pretty funny. I like this one. Janie says, I might have rabies. Maybes.
Nice.
I think that's the winner.
Yeah, I do too. Slam dunk.
That's the winner. So we got Janie.
Janie's got a pun. Janie's got a pun.
You better believe that.
Her daddy, right?
Soon she'll be in Aerosmith videos.
Ryan on Instagram. I work with him and I see it.
So, Janie, if you can please, you're going to have to DM me on Instagram because I don't know how to check messages on YouTube or even if there are any. So, DM me on Instagram at Ben Gleib with your full name and email address. And we'll make sure you get a free ticket to our show. But if you did not win one right now, please do not despair. There is a way for all of you to not only get a discount ticket. I'm popping up on the screen right now a link for a discount ticket to our show tomorrow night. November 28th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Just go right now to tinyurl.com/proopgleib. It's a URL that makes a lot of sense if you know us at all. or know what the show is, tinyurl.com/proopgleib, and you get a discount ticket. And to anyone who buys a ticket, full price or discount or VIP, if you want the meet and greet afterwards to meet Greg and I and have some intimate moments together where we talk and tell more personal stories and answer all of your questions, you can get the VIP ticket. But if you get any kind of ticket, just to the regular show, discount, whatever it is, at this URL on screen, or if you're watching on Instagram, it's tinyurl.com/proopgleib. I'll try to write that in the comments there.
Thank you, GMag.
Everyone who gets a ticket will be able, as a Thanksgiving gift from Greg and I, will be able to bring one friend or family member to the show for free. You can give a free ticket to any friend or family member after you buy the ticket at the link. It's a little something Greg and I wanted to do for the holidays for you guys, for the Thanksgiving holiday.
What's the price of that second ticket, Ben?
The price of it will be just $13. So you get a couple dollars off the full price. And then if you get the ticket, you get a free ticket for any friend or family member. Happy Christmas. The Kwanzaa's coming your way, the Hanukkah. I just put the thing in your chat there. And so you get a ticket. We will then email you. Nowhere Comedy Club will email you and asking for your friend's name and email. And we will send them a link for a free ticket to join the fun. It's a wild show. We do about an hour of improv madness. We take your questions. We do improv games. It's bonkers. This is where we just talk to you. But that show is when we do it. That's when we do it.
It is. One of my favorite routines that we made up was you were pretending to be an old Jewish lady and I was serving you tea. And then you ask for a line of crank or something. And I actually put powder on a giant knife. And it's very interactive, you see.
I snorted it. I snorted it across the world.
Yeah, it was. It's amazing what Zoom can do.
Of course, Greg and I always come to you from undisclosed locations. So you don't know what country we're in.
No, you really don't. I'm just outside of Proopsylvania tonight.
You better believe that. I'm in Gleibsburg, Vermont. Gleibsburg, Vermont. You know how that goes.
But it's spelled different because of the Judaism. It's spelled Gleibsburg.
That's right. tinyurl.com/proopgleib. Why are people telling me they can't get into the link? I believe that not to be true. Proceed to this site. Let me double check it. It can't be true what they're saying. Yeah, it's not true. The link works.
You can also go to gregproops.com and the link for me and Ben's show is right there. And then the link for my podcast is there. The link for the Who's Line show, everything.
Yes.
We need to schedule another one for December, I think.
We do indeed.
January. But let's get this one done first. It's tomorrow night at 6:30. That's Pacific Standard Time. We went back to standard from daylight because the curtain has been lifted. And
that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, we're just to make our farming a little easier. We wanted to observe the time that is saved and that bothers everyone who's not a farmer, but we don't relate to that. Greg and I are agrarian by nature, not because we hate you.
Right. I live on the land. I till the land. The Fortress of Proopitude has I don't know if you remember the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. It's sort of an affair like that. Or I don't know if you've seen Machu Picchu. You see how there's terraced gardens. So I've got my squash. I've got my corn. I'm raising my pigs. I've got my ocelot, Jeanette, and we just have the best time. Wow. Someone wrote, get your tickets now.
And then somebody else wrote, if you bring a friend to a Zoom meeting, it's called Tubin. A little Jeffrey Tubin shout out. Love that. So please be sure and join us tomorrow night. It's going to be a ton of fun. You get a discount ticket and you get to bring a friend or family member for free. So you're getting 2 tickets for less than the price of one. There's almost not a better deal available anywhere on this planet of Earth.
Improv father and son. I love that. The other thing that been doing all these, I know you have a Patreon.
I do. Patreon.com/Ben Gleib.
And I love your tears, as they say.
Thank you.
I'm fixing to put it together, but it just means that I have to do more content, and that cuts into my drinking.
I understand that. But you should do it because on my Patreon, some of the tiers you can get access to all of my virtual shows, my Gleib Off the Tops, and then you can get VIPs that Greg and I do. And at a particular tier, you can even get our full shows if you want to watch them again. So it's a lot of fun, and I recommend that you do it. And then Greg, you can do it as well, and then you can get access to it from multiple angles.
Wow, that sounds good. So that means the shows we do, I could post on Patreon.
Yep. And then that's the content taken care of for you.
Wow, look at that. All right, I think I will. But I was going to say, I do Cameo, and I'm sure you do Cameo too. And one of the best parts of Cameo is that they pick up charities. At the beginning of this, they had us do cameos for a restaurant workers fund, and I was able to give them like 500 clams. And then we did on Gay Pride Month, they did GLAD. Recently, we did a child's charity that helps feed children. So I don't, anytime Cameo's doing a charity thing, I sign up for it and give the money to the charity, which is one of the benefits of being able to do something that's schmoozy.
Yes.
But also helps, you know.
I've done a handful of those charity giveaways too. It's really nice when they do that.
Right. And then at Christmas, I think they're going to have us lower our prices and guarantee that we do it the next day or something.
Correct.
So I'm looking forward to that because it gives you a reason to get up and shave in the morning and pull it together.
We're comedy robots and we're here at your service, Mr. Jetson. Leedy says, Ben looks like he's about to tell me the traffic. We have to end this broadcast in about 2 minutes, but we're going to check real quickly on the 405. We've got a buffalo that is looking for his friends. He's looking for his other wild wings. They're looking for a delicious meal, and we're going to go to Greg Proops, who's got the weather report for us. Gregory?
Well, thanks, Ben. Down here in Southern California, the weather continues as it has for the last several years. Warm with a threat of fire. So if you have a ranch or you're keeping animals here, I'd love to see you back in Vancouver soon too. Be sure to also, if you're in LA and you're driving, be sure to drive like a complete idiot. It's the law down here. It
is the law. You got to do it. If you drive well, we kick you out of town. On the other side of Trump's wall, we get you out of here as soon as possible. And people are perplexed. Ben with an OnlyFans account, you better believe it. Have you ever seen my ankles? They're worth money. So keep that in mind. We have to end this in a minute because I have the social distancing social club sound check in 3 minutes that I will be a little bit late for, but not too late for. Please, all of you, make sure that you get tickets right now if you can to Greg and Gleib. It's a G thing. Improvised comedy with Greg Proops and Ben Gleib tomorrow night, 6:30 Pacific.
We have a whale of a time. It's at 6:30.
We have a whale of a time. You better believe it.
It's tinyurl.com/Gleib or / as they say, or you can go to gregproops.com and find.
You can stroke us if you need to. You still will have to buy a ticket.
Right?
Keep that in mind. But Greg is the Captain Ahab to my Moby Dick, and we all know that we keep it as
that endless hunt. Just that never ends. For me, the mystery's never over.
It's gonna be a ton of fun. So get your ticket, tinyurl.com/proopgleib to all of you watching, and you get a discount when you go to that link. And you also will get an email from us then for a free ticket for Thanksgiving gift for any friend or family member of yours. So do it right now. You get to bring them into the fold and share the fun with them. And Tam does believe I have a OnlyFans account, and I'm glad for your faith in me. Thank you, Timothy. I really appreciate that kindly. Thank you, guys. This has been really wonderful. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Ben. We'll see you tomorrow, sir.
Yes, get your rest for tomorrow. I'll be sleeping until then. As soon as SDSC is done, I'll be sleeping to get my improv juices stewing and brewing, my friend.
All right. I'm going to eat some leftover duck.
Ooh, from which of the Jennifers?
Jennifer A.
Jennifer A. Oh, Jennifer A. Strangely, Greg names the random one he just met A, and his wife is Jennifer B. So it's really weird. He just anticipated it into the future.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.